And you're welcome. You caught us in the middle of the conversation. Actually, we were just talking about something for 2023 as we're looking at our year in review. Yeah. And the ladies were asking what the most
belabored theme
was for the year. And Winfrey, you said it was what?
Self-care, mental health, blurring the lines between femininity and masculinity.
Yeah.
Is that just a Nigerian thing? Was it just Nigerians that were all about?
Yeah.
I think it was all over the world, though.
I think it was I don't know. I feel certain things influenced it, right? Of course, when you have things like the Women's Day, International Women's Day, of course they have their theme and they also kind of push certain things. But I'm talking about Nigeria, right? Mostly. And then the masculinity and masculinity one was Lagos.
You people have won now. We're not fighting the game. 1 + 1 =
No, that was not a fight. It wasn't a fight.
In any case, we're wondering what your theme was exactly for 2023 and whether you actually hit the mark or did you miss it, or do you think you're coming back to repeat the class again?
I'm just wondering what 2024 will be.
What's the theme?
What would be the theme?
What's going to be popular? Like,
I think it will be contentment, and I'm going to explain why. And this comes full circle into what we're talking about today for Coffee Gist. So check this: the UK government reportedly has set up a what do you call it now? A policy to deport Nigerian students and others over their poor grades. As we know, this is a thing that everybody in Nigeria and their mothers are trying to do. It's immigration. They have noted that it seems that this is a backdoor into the country, and Nigerians and other nationalities are taking advantage of it. So what they're going to do is, if you have poor grades, just like in school, you're going to go on some sort of probation type thing. If that does not work, you're going to get sent back. I don't know how that's going to affect them, because I believe it will affect them in a large way, because most of their workforce are actually Nigerians, especially when it comes to healthcare and the rest. And these are people who take on menial jobs. Menial, on the line menial.
Okay, they take on menial jobs in order to complete their education, and then when they complete their education, most of the time they're in the top of their class.
Yeah, so that's what I'm asking. When you don't have these individuals who can take on these menial jobs in healthcare, who are you going to have there?
So they've mentioned grades. So this is students now. Let's talk about education, getting education abroad. A lot of the people who actually come from those countries don't go to those tertiary institutions because they can't afford them. This is also going to affect the UK, in my opinion, because they're going to lose a lot on school fees. The amount of money that Africans, Indians, Asians spend on education in the UK, it is holding up an industry.
Very true.
They come to Nigeria to do fairs, education fairs, in places like huge hotels here in Nigeria.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah.
And they are literally pulling Nigerian parents to send their children abroad.
So now there's
a reason.
This is what I'm going to say, right? The UK never does anything uncalculated.
Yeah.
So to be honest, this is just a strategy for something that is to come. And if I'm just to look at it on the surface, I'm going to say that it's understandable. Because in the end, as much as, yes, we say fine, of course they need the money. We all know that. I mean, they're really, the funds are literally doing great for them, right? But I'll still say that when we talk about these kind of things, the idea behind it is to get people into their country that can add positively to that economy, to the systems that work there. So where they're now faced with a situation where, they're not getting that, it is their right, they're within their right to say, okay, we don't want this, we want this, and all of that. But then again, it's still the UK. Something I noticed is that once they make a decision, they're going to see the way it plays out. If it doesn't work for them, they're going to circle back very shamelessly. So
that's
not even bothered.
Very healthy
even
point.
In the sports, in the area of sports in the US, that's how they give scholarships to students.
Yes,
if they're good at football, tennis, athletics, they give these students great opportunities in those fields. But if their grades are dropping, most of them lose these scholarships.
That's exactly how it works. You're correct. There is more to the communique that came out. They also said that they would also investigate whether there should be further restrictions that would only allow foreign students to stay in the UK if they went to certain specific universities and complete specified courses. Also, certain types of jobs or activities could also be subject to limitations.
So what you said was there's an underlying agenda.
Of course.
So if that is the case, then there are probably some schools that are not exactly top
Schools that
of
are
the
just set
line.
up just to
They
you know,
set it
facilitate
up.
this my
Yeah.
immigration thing. So I understand all that, but I think
yeah.
let's bring it back home, and it's time to start looking at us now,
yeah.
and the whole Japa syndrome and all. Is it time to now start refocusing what we should be doing instead of wanting? Everybody's geared. It would seem most people are geared to want to immigrate. It's like there's no future here. Is it time, with what we have, the little that we have, try to start repurposing our destination when it comes to what we want for ourselves?
Yeah.
How are we going to do that? What are we going to do? Where are we going to go?
When you say destination, what do you mean? Outside the country or inside the country?
Inside of the country. I mean,
So now-
what want to settle into?
So I'm going to say this, right? So over the weekend, I mentioned actually being at a family function. Now, a family function that was well attended by my cousins who have been outside the country for the longest time. And looking at their lives juxtaposed with that of my cousins that have been here, to be honest, it was very glaring, the reason why people were trying to immigrate. You cannot compare the standard of lives that they're leaving to the ones who have been here are leaving. Do you understand? These are people that literally left when they were young, probably like 16, 17, to go there to further their education, stayed back to work. The currency they were spraying was different. Jonas, no, don't get me wrong. No, I'm just saying, like, it really got me thinking. Then again, you now also think about the fact that, okay, fine, the times there then and the times now are not, like, we're not the same. Even, I mean, the conditions with which they moved and all of that. Now, bringing it to this times now, I think a lot of Nigerians actually come to the point where they realize, okay, fine, we are the ones that are going to take ourselves out of this. But then again, we still need to talk about the fact that, it's fine, starting up businesses is a sure way to boost an economy. But then again, the business is being started by Nigerians and the business is being started by foreigners. Now, I'm talking about this because they also shared interest in having certain investments right here.
Yeah.
And if you think of the way it's working or it has worked for them in just a short amount of time they've put in, compared to people that have been here slaving away at businesses.
It's shorter for them and surer.
It's short.
So, but it should be noted that there are issues of inflation all over the world present.
Of course.
That's why I'm thinking of coming here
The
to
US,
invest.
Yes, of
quite
course.
frankly.
The UK, they're going through some serious financial issues right now. Every government is going through all these things because there's just been a lot of adjustments in, there's a power tussle, international power tussle going on. So in the end, to find your feet, in my opinion, at home. If you can survive in an area, in a country like this, you can survive anywhere in the world. We understand this. But do you have to?
Now, I'm going to say that one thing that I noted, especially when I traveled myself to the village and everything, is the fact that there's plenty of opportunity when it comes to agriculture. The only thing that might stalemate that would be the fact that after you've gotten your yields and everything, you might not be able to transport it appropriately to your destination or to markets and all of that. But even in that, still there are opportunities for other businesses when it comes to logistics. Maybe we might not need to transport all our yields. Maybe we might start, we might need to start looking at processing. That's another thing. So I'm thinking, if you have that family member, your family member, tell them there's agriculture, there's processing, and these are big. These are big facets in the economy that we have gaps in.
Sure.
And there are banks that are supporting agriculture now. A lot of those grants and packages.
That is true.
They've been going on for the past, 3 to 5 years now. You just have to really search for them. And people are getting those grants. It's just that those that get it, they know they shout.
Very true, actually.
And how do they get it? Are the processes? I'm not saying they don't get it. Now, what are the processes to getting those grants? Are they really transparent? And are they really fair?
I'll speak for them. Yes, they are transparent.
I want you to speak for them.
They might
the color
be
you're
really,
wearing.
Yeah, I have a family member who's been opportunity to get one of those. But it might be a long process, and then you have to prove that I'm going to use these funds for this. Do you have you even started anything? Do you have the experience? Do you have an acre of land? All of those things are things you have to show. You're not just gonna I want to start cassava business, go to the bank. Nah.
No, that doesn't work.
Of course,
like
okay. Anyways,
really
I guess that's
invest time and also educate yourself in those areas before you even begin to consider starting a business in that area.
So now, on that note, let me just put this in, just drop it, right? I know of someone that literally got, I don't know what to call it, the grants now, but some money, for some certain kind of business, right? He applied for it, he got it, and complained terribly of how, not up to how many percentage of the actual sum gotten was used for the actual thing because of all the...
What, taxes?
Not even, okay, let's call it taxes.
Nah,
taxes.
I see what you mean.
So,
well, taxes, that happens in every country, which is why a lot of them abroad come to Nigeria.
So we've talked about
to
us as
invest.
individuals and what we should perhaps maybe start to refocus at.
Yeah.
I think it's now time to turn attention to the government and how these things are run and
Yeah.
how easy it could be for people to start businesses like
Yeah.
you've just noted. It's not easy at all. Only just the other day, there was an information about owning businesses and business names and about
Yeah.
tax returns and all of that.
Yes.
And if you don't what's the word, consolidate your businesses, you might lose your business
Yeah.
in come 2024.
Yeah.
However, it is very, very not easy to do these things, these little, with all the
Then things like
dues and all.
NAFDAC. You know, getting a
Everything.
NAFDAC number is like, you know, they do like parties.
It's like getting the UK visa.
Yeah,
not every like-
it's like you're
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you're holding on your certificate like I'm NAFDAC approved, guys.
Yes.
You know, but those kinds of things are important. Those regulatory bodies are
They are.
important.
Just make it easier for us.
And that's the
what
thing. So it's not.
You know what?
Yeah,
A lot to talk
You
about.
still have plenty to say, yeah?
it's-
I know.
yeah.
I know. But what's your opinion regarding this situation here that we're facing regarding the UK government and grades or students? What's your opinion? Share with us. We're live on X where you can leave messages, okay? So go on there, use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Would love to hear what your opinion is. Stay tuned. We will be right back.